Okay, and this is a final speech in a way. You gave it already, Toms, but you represent the organizers here, the late LATO, this transatlantic thinking in the society in Latvia. Do you think that a small country like Latvia could really influence the whole big debate on in the NATO nations? I mean, so how many nations, by the way, there were represented, and do you think there was a new decision somewhere behind the scenes taken when if it should be taken in a conferences like this, actually?
Well, there are many nations in NATO. I think since international agenda is constantly evolving, there are many things different members can contribute. And I really hope and understand that Latvia has knowledge and expertise vis-à-vis Russia or vis-à-vis its past or vis-à-vis the what small country can do. So we have to generate our initiatives because there are many small nations around Latvia, including Nordic countries. They are small nations to compare with the rest of big Europe. So what we have to do is we have to generate some new ideas coming out from Riga.
Can we say that this is a school of diplomacy, or this is actually how it happens in real life? I mean, for the people who are watching this online, can they suspect that this is the way how NATO forms its common decision, more or less, starting with scientists mostly here, and then goes to ambassadors in the NATO Council, and then it's a final vote? So is it so open in real life as well? Because Riga conference was online, everybody knew it, so maybe there were some things they would say normally, but they didn't because of online audience presence.
Well, you want to make a direct link with NATO, but I have to make a disclaimer here.
Okay.
I think even if we are Latvian transatlantic organization which has established to promote NATO membership, we have shifted our focus towards issues of international concern. So nowadays we don't talk permanently about the NATO, and because I mean NATO is not whole agenda.
That's true.
What we try to do, we try to raise public awareness and promote exchange of policy-based debates. So we are not looking at academic stuff. We rather look on how to solve current international issues. For example, we were discussing the problems in Afghanistan. This is a current problem.
Absolutely.
We are discussing the impact of social media. This is really new, and there was a lot of to say for those all panelists. So the NATO link is just a segment of what we do.
So, but in the same time, people were probably, well, hoping that the Riga conference would change something. Could it? Could we make one sentence news, like, to post it in a Twitter, like we talked at the end? What been achieved? I mean, I heard Afghani ambassador saying, well, give us the money, but don't make a list of what we should do. We will decide ourselves. I heard some people saying that, well, there is a lose of power of Russia, and it's not such an issue anymore in a foreign policy than it was like 5 or 10 years ago. I don't know what you heard from today's discussions, which you will kind of now rethink over.
Well, I think that also headlines can be made also in conferences, and one of those is yesterday the Finnish Prime Minister said that he believes that in 3 or 4 years the Baltic Sea region will be back as a region of dynamism, development, innovative economic well, economies were together to show to the rest of Europe that there is a way how to overcome crisis, and he particularly referred to Latvia. Well, another example is that yesterday during the dinner, the Riga city mayor said that, well, he was quoted that after 50 years of occupation, and knowing that he represents the party who were not talking about it before, I would say that was a headline as well.
So would you say that the Riga conference is one of the most places where, let's say, at least in this academic level, the big decisions of the Europe will be taken in the future, or are already maybe taken. This is not the first, not the second conference. It's a quite a tradition.
Well, this was a sixth conference. I will not say that big decisions are being taken here, but what I would say is that decisions are being influenced here. Uh, I mean, people here in audience, more than 200 experts from politicians, academia, and public entities and NGOs and media, they certainly interact. They certainly exchange information or experience from far distant countries like Egypt, Finland, US, China, Russia, Spain. So my point is that through interaction, they understand how other, for example, EU members are thinking, and they could really understand that this is an idea which will go through, and another one which I have in mind probably will not. So that's the way how the policy is being influenced.
The funny stuff is when you mention 200 people here, the high-ranking people invited, you know, super trooper experts, but actually 600 or 900 were constantly watching this yesterday, and we suspect that today even more because of, you know, yesterday's, it was a half-day conference only actually. So do you think this is the way how we should do public diplomacy, how we make discussions? Because sometimes when people are online, they are anonym, they cannot fully participate, and no one will take their opinion as serious as let's say experts opinion here, or should it be so open so everyone can say everyone? At the end, who will decide then?
Well, I think we are open and transparent, and we want that our, I mean, intellectual exchange of views happening here is being shared to everybody interested. So that's why I'm thankful to those fellow followers on internet who were watching our live stream and asking questions, because they are getting engaged. We are also using, in a way, social media. What is important that here we can probably set agenda for next year. So we might think what is going to be important after 3 months or half a year or a year. Because the issues we discuss here are of importance in a magnitude of a year or two. We don't talk like of, well, academic or historic. So for political science or social science students, I guess discussions are interesting, because we were talking about economy, overcoming crisis, we were talking about security, global shift of balance, redistribution of wealth, Russia, many interesting issues.
Which are actually everyday issues, and if you missed any of those issues or you want to consult it later on, just come back to rigaconference.lv. That will be updating all what has been said in the text versions, in the video versions, maybe even audio. I don't know if it needed at all, if there is a video and social media. So, and of course, time to time you can come back to this very website just to check the agenda of the next conference, to be involved as a volunteer to organize the next year's conference in Riga, or maybe as a participant, academia or any other thoughts you might give to us. We would be happy to invite you, I guess, even if you are from the other side of the world. Because
Well,
there were people from the other side of the world here as well.
please identify if you want to be invited.
Oh yes,
next
yes,
year.
absolutely. Then you have to contact Toms. Thank you, Tom. I think
my
all
pleasure.
the best. Riga made the day at least. By the way, we have an election. We have elections in Latvia as well. So Riga will be continuously celebrating not only Riga conference, also whoever wins in the in elections, come back and or come on the street and join a party today. Someone will be celebrating Riga. Well, that's the joke. Thank you. We end up here. Riga conference number 6 was this year, so 2012, something around those dates here. Might be we've been meeting again online, maybe.
Welcome back next year.
Exactly. Goodbye.
Thank you.